Well, as you can probably tell, Storm Francis has started to lit the edge of the Wirral and the rain has come with it. It is going to be testing conditions for Preston North End here at Tranmere Rovers this afternoon. The second pre-match friendly of this new season. The lads warming up, and they really are having to warm up. It's not very cold, but that rain will it's not even that fine rain that soaks through, it's that horrible rain that absolutely drenches it. So it will be a different sort of test today. Tranmere Rovers in League 2 now, relegated last season on that points per game basis. And as far as the lineups are concerned, well, Preston North End, if you remember on Saturday in that win at Salford City, they made changes around the hour mark, and it's the team that came on for that last half an hour or so that starts today. And we understand that the team that started at Salford City will then come back on around about the hour mark again. So hopefully that makes sense. So North End's starting lineup, all in front of Matt Hudson in goals. From right to left across the back, Joe Rafferty, Paul Huntington, Ben Davies and Josh Earl. Paul Gallagher and Ben Pearson will sit in front of the back four. And then we're expecting Barkhazen, Harrop and Potts behind Jayden Stockley. That's the starting 11. And then, as we say, round about the hour mark, we think the changes will be made again. And that will be Connor Ripley. It will be the back four of Alan Brown, Bauer, Story and Hughes, Ledson and Tom Bayliss. Another chance to see him again in front of the back four. Behind the middle three of Bodin, Johnson and Scott Sinclair, Sean Maguire leading the lines. And also on the subs bench, Jack Baxter, Adam O'Reilly and Ethan Walker. So we'll see how that progresses. Of course, there could be other changes if there's tiredness or if there's any injuries, which obviously we don't want to see, but there is that option there. So as far as Tranmere Rovers are concerned, they've made some changes as well. It's Joe Murphy in goal for them this afternoon. It's a back four of Lee O'Connor, Peter Clark, Manny Monte and Callum MacDonald. Jay Spearing and Ollie Banks will sit in front of them. We think Otis Khan will probably play in something of a number 10 position. Kieran Morris and Corey Blackett-Taylor either side, with James Vaughan leading the line. Plenty on the bench for them, and we are expecting changes from them in the second half as well. Mike Jackson, of course, the manager of Tranmere Rovers these days, taking over from Mickey Mellon, who crossed north of the border to go and take over at Scottish Premiership club Dundee United. Michael Jackson, a stalwart at Preston North End, and this again back in the managerial dugout, so he'll be interesting to see what he does against his former team this afternoon. But the rain could be a big player for us today. Your full match commentary just a few moments away now as the players go in to shelter from the rain, put their fresh kit on. We will see the new away kit for the first time, that new Nike dark blue with the lighter blue sleeves for the first time. That will go on sale at the beginning of September. But as I say, full match commentary in the full game coming up right here in just a few moments on I Follow PNE. So there you go, back in the commentary position now in the Johnny King stand. We miss you wherever you are listening around the world, and hopefully sooner rather than later Deepdale can open up, and so can the rest of football, so that you can come back and be at matches yourselves. But thank you for joining us wherever you are at this moment in time. We're just waiting for both teams now to come back out of the tunnel for this second pre-season friendly here at well, the wind is now picking up as well, as I just mentioned a few moments ago. Storm Francis is on the way. It's just moved through Wales and is clearly now reached the northwest, possibly heading towards Preston. I must admit I haven't looked at the weather forecast, but wherever you are, if you are affected by it, stay safe, be careful, and hopefully we'll have an interesting 90 minutes coming up. If you have literally just joined us and you missed the opening chat there, you may have missed the starting lineup. I will run through that for you. And we've probably still got 3 or 4 minutes to go between now and kick-off, so I I'll make apologies if you've heard it before, but of course, people dropping in all the time. I will mention the lineups as we move along. You can go online, of course, onto Preston North End's official website or on their social media feeds. There will be updates on there as well. The referee's just in the tunnel now, waiting to bring the players out. It's Scott Oldham from Poulton this afternoon, assisted by Anthony Moore and Matt Parry. Kieran Johnson is the fourth official, but the players just making their way now to the bottom of the tunnel in the main stand, across from the far side from us. Preston North End coming out from the corner in the temporary changing rooms, and you can see for the first time, perhaps, certainly in match action, Preston North End's new away shirt for this season. That Nike dark blue with the lighter blue sleeves, slightly lighter blue shorts and socks as well. And here come Tranmere Rovers, all in white this afternoon. A new manager and a new league for Tranmere Rovers. Relegated in somewhat controversial circumstances at the end of last season on the points per game basis. And a new manager to boot as well, Mickey Mellon, gone up to Scotland to manage Dundee United. So Michael Jackson once again gets the chance to be a first team manager at the team he left Preston North End for back in 2004. So the formalities will take place in the middle, and while we do, let's run through the North End starting lineup for you. So in goal away to our right hand side, as we look at things, Matt Hudson doing some last minute preparations, and then across the back, Joe Rafferty, Paul Huntington, Ben Davies and Josh Earl. Paul Gallagher and Ben Pearson likely to sit and pull the strings in front of them, and behind Tom Barkhazen, Josh Harrop and Brad Potts. Harrop just starting on this left-hand side by the looks of things. Jayden Stockley likely to be the man pushing forward. I'll run through the Tranmere Rovers lineup for you in just a moment as well, because it looks like, as the rain gets even harder, that we are underway here at Prenton Park. Tranmere Rovers then, Joe Murphy in goal. Back four for them of Lee O'Connor, Peter Clark, Manny Monte and Callum MacDonald. You can see Jay Spearing alongside Ollie Banks in the middle. And they've got Kieran Morris, Otis Khan, Corey Blackett-Taylor, James Vaughan, a familiar face up front with the number 9. Straight away, North End on the attack. And a sliced effort in the end from Brad Potts. I think he knows himself he should have done better with that. It was well picked up by Barkhazen. Just couldn't quite connect. Formations pretty much, I think, how we expected them to be this afternoon. And a reminder that both teams expected to make a raft of changes as we get into the second half of this game. Certainly like North End did against Salford City in that 3-1 win at the weekend. That's easy enough for Ben Davies. And North End can just start again. Pearson. Josh Earl wants it on this near left-hand side. He goes right instead. The chase is on for Brad Potts. Barkhazen keeps it alive for Preston North End. Pearson again. Gallagher. Earl screaming for it again on this near left-hand side, and will perhaps now get the chance to do something with it. Harrop. Sprayed wide by Gallagher. And now Tranmere will get their own opportunity. Blackett-Taylor. A couple of options in the middle for him. And it will be the first corner of the afternoon. He's Good opportunity that from Tranmere Rovers. Quick break from them. Good defensive work. Similarly for Preston North End, and it will be Corey Blackett-Taylor who will take the opportunity. Every North End player inside the box. Ooh, that was almost a free header there, I think, from Manny Monte. He knows that he should have hit the target there, guided it wide. Strong in the air, Monte. He's a big lad, powerful man. Forward they come again. Long range effort this time from Otis Khan. Goes over the top and behind for a goal kick. So as I say, now people are joining us all the time here on iFollow P&E. You can check the teams out online. I'll run through them again when we get another opportunity in a break in play. But it's Tranmere just asking some questions at the moment, and lively work from Corey Blackett-Taylor on that far side. He'll just hand over the throw into Callum MacDonald. Good pressing from North End, and Ollie Banks is forced to come all the way back to his goalkeeper. Wearing number 1 this afternoon, Joe Murphy. Looks likely perhaps to start the season for Blackburn Rovers for Tranmere Rovers after coming back to them. Pearson through Gallagher. Again, Earl asks it on this near left-hand side. Plenty of space. Now let's see what he can do. Closed down by Kieran Morris. Patient stuff from Preston. Not sure whether you'll be able to exactly tell. You can obviously see that the rain is torrential, but the wind is quite powerful and whipping it around as well, which is why North End and Tranmere will probably try and play a lot on the floor for now. Perhaps the occasional long ball to test each other. Cut out by Earl again. Tranmere stopped on the halfway line. O'Connor with the throw. And here's their captain, Peter Clark, who you may remember from playing up the M55 for a while. Was part of the team there that was relegated in quite spectacular circumstances a few years ago. What can North End do with Harrop? Plenty of white shirts around him, looking for options. Barkhuizen on the far right-hand side. It will have to come through Potts, and then Rafferty to put it back into the danger zone. Read by Clark. Huntington asks another question with it. Nobody really managing to get hold of the ball now, and it will be Monte who relieves a little bit of pressure for Tranmere Rovers. Matt Hudson wants things going along. It's not a day to be standing around waiting. North End trying that high press again now. Harrop slides it through the middle. It's a great ball through and just straight across the face of goal from Hayden Stockley. I think he was perhaps caught in two minds there. Was he trying to place it in the far corner? Was he trying the cross? It was neither in the end, really. That was a good chance for Preston North End. And Jayden Stockley, I think, knows it. Been a lively opening 7 minutes or so, but it's still Tranmere Rovers 0, Preston North End 0. Strong header from Davies. Potts again tries to work with the ball. The referee says illegally stopped, I think, by Jay Spearing. And on you go straight away. There's nobody in support for Barkhazen, and that's a brave dive at the feet by Joe Murphy. Rapid stuff from North End. It's a good run out for them on Saturday at Salford, wasn't it? Eachy peachy was how the manager described it after the game. Relatively even. North End coming away with that 3-1 win in the end. You could tell that Salford had already had a bit of match action in the legs, whereas North End, their first run out, haven't been back that long in training, so getting back up to speed as quickly as they can. And a reminder, if you need it, that on Saturday the Carabao Cup starts at Deepdale. You can watch the full match on iFollow PNE. Here's Earl. Gallagher. Movements up front for him. It's a very congested midfield. Tranmere building it with numbers, but now Harrop can break free. Earl wants it outside him. Comes inside instead to Gallagher. Tranmere every man back bar one. Earl shut down, and it's Preston North End's first corner of the afternoon. Blocked by Kieran Morris. Paul Gallagher just goes to the cone to pick up a clean ball as one of the stewards wipes down the other one. And it's a corner for North End. Every North End player, bar a couple inside the area. But it's actually James Vaughan on defensive duty. Pearson starts it again from North End and back out wide. Gallagher once more. Goalkeeper calls, goalkeeper collects. I think James Vaughan wanted to take it and move out with it himself. But it's been a reasonable start, hasn't it? Both teams wanting to get moving. And I don't mean to be boring or sound very English in all this, but the weather is now absolutely horrific here. So you can imagine what it's like for the players down there, just trying to deal with both the wind and the rain. And Tranmere try and move forward themselves. Oh, is it an offside flag? There is indeed. Just comes up as James Vaughan went through. It was a nice pass from Otis Khan, wasn't it? But the flag was straight up on this near side. So we'll have to stop again, but an opportunity for Tranmere Rovers. And a bit of a nudge to the back four as well. You could argue that they played the line well, of course. Alex Neil just yelling one or two words of advice from that far touchline. Here's Potts. Monte gets in front of him. Tries to get around. They both tangle and fall. Referee nonplussed by both events. It's a throw-in to North End. 6 and 2-3s maybe. Gallagher under pressure from Banks. And from Davis to Earl. Stockley tried to find Harrop on the interchange, but it was read by Lee O'Connor. And perhaps the frenetic pace at the start of this game will perhaps settle in a little bit now. Just coming up to 12 minutes. Hello if you've just joined us wherever you are around the world. Listening on iFollow PNE. I understand our friends at Tranmere are also listening in as well. Hello to you on the Wirral and beyond. North End this afternoon all lining up in front of Matt Hudson. It's the team that played the last half an hour or so at Salford City, which means it's Rafferty, Huntington, Davies and Earl across the back. Pearson and Gallagher in between that line and the front line of Potts, Harrop and Barkhazen and Stockley slap bang in the middle and hoping to get on perhaps this ball from Josh Harrop. Jay Spearing, well in fact 3 Tranmere Rovers players tight towards him. Spearing nicked the ball away. Kieran Morris it was who managed to get control for Tranmere. A flick and a turn, but it's Ben Pearson and now Huntington and now Gallagher who get control back for Preston North End. Down the channels for North End now. Josh Harrop keeping a tight hold on the shirt of Leo O'Connor. Referee happy for things to go on again. Gallagher, Earl makes a run, it's spotted. Oh, but the pass wasn't great from Paul Gallagher. A cry of frustration from him, and that allows Tranmere Rovers to break with Kieran Morris. Held up by Harrop, helped out by Gallagher. Now he can make amends. Oh, straight at Harrop. Referee moves out of the way as well. Tranmere flood that midfield. As soon as Preston North End get the ball, there are white shirts all over that part of the field. Preston being patient though, waiting for a moment, not panicking. And regaining possession and keeping possession. Davis. Earl again seeing a lot on this left-hand side. Harrop thought it took a deflection before it went out of play. The referee and the linesman, or the assistant referee, I should say, both concur. And once Josh Earl had finished fastening his shoelaces, goes forward for the throw-in. North End losing it though. James Vaughan will have a sprint on this one. Paul Huntington read that well, came across to help out Ben Davies. And here's Hudson. I'm told, by the way, if anybody is wondering where Declan Rudd is, he's got just a slight injury, nothing to worry about, but enough to keep him out of these last 2 matches. A glute problem, I think. And if he is watching, then we hope to see you again soon. Deck can get you back out on the pitch. And so far, so good for Matt Hudson between the posts. It's 0-0. Past the quarter of an hour mark here at Prenton Park. This pre-season friendly between Tranmere Rovers and Preston North End. Half chances so far for both teams. You could argue perhaps Manny Monte had the best of the chances. Relatively free header from not far outside the 6-yard box that he guided wide. Jaden Stockley for Preston North End had a good chance too. His shot as he faced goal from the left, dragged wide of the far post. So that's where we are. Chase that for Barkhazen. He'll get there and he'll win a corner. Nope, didn't quite go out of play. Did well just to stretch and get hold of that there, Tom Barkhazen, who I don't think is wearing that protective arm thing today. That was almost Keith Lemon for a long while, wasn't it, on that far side? But on this near side, Tranmere Rovers go on the attack. Cut out by the first man, and then a free kick with the second. And it's a North End free kick deep inside their own territory. Tranmere Rovers starting lineup as well. For those who missed it, all in front of Joe Murphy. O'Connor, Clark, Monte, McDonald across the back, Spearing and Banks, Morris, Khan, Blackett, Taylor, James, Vaughan leading the line. North End subs: Ripley, Bauer, Story, Hughes, Brown, Ledson, Johnson, Bayliss, Baxter, O'Reilly, Bodin, Sinclair, Walker and Maguire. We will see the vast majority of those in the second half, is my understanding of the plan. Changes will be in the second half as well for Tranmere Rovers. A familiar face in their dugout, of course, in Mike Jackson. £125,000 North End spent on him from Bury back in March of '97. What a player he was for North End. 7 years, over 250 league appearances, decent number of goals before eventually first leaving on loan and then as a permanent transfer here to Tranmere Rovers in May 2004. Still got affection for Preston North End despite a brief dalliance with the team on the coast up the 55. Blackett-Taylor on the ball, facing the wrong way for Tranmere Rovers, trying but not managing to get round Joe Rafferty. Well, one back from him. See what he can do with the ball now. It's a tester, but just too far in the end. Swirled around. Gallagher makes sure North End keep hold of it. Earl has got options. Harrop, oh, yes, he does go to North End. I think Brad Potts at first thought he wanted it, and it was a disguised pass to Josh Earl, and North End have won another corner. It was well worked, that North End. Just an overhit cross slightly. Conditions playing some part in that. But North End making the most of it, and let's see now if they can find the opening goal of this game with this corner. 4 players line up on the centre spot. It goes towards nearer post. Vaughan heads it away. Not quite, I don't think, what had been planned on the training ground. Josh Earl. Gallagher just drops back in his own half. Tranmere will squeeze that midfield again. Here's Rafferty. They've worked the wings well this afternoon, North End. Parkhazen just getting tangled up. Rafferty and now Pearson help out. Davies. Striding forward with purpose. Gallagher urges Davies to move forward. Earl skips the challenge. Blue shirt streaming forward. Wrong decision in the end. Just not quite on the same wavelength. And Brad Potts just acknowledging that to Josh Earl. And Davis gets the shout from his goalkeeper. And North End can start again with Huntington. North End players have been talking, haven't they, in pre-season about the fight in the squad. The fact that Alex Neil played 2 different teams on Saturday and again today just shows that there is effectively 2 men for pretty much every position, and in some positions more than that. Alan Brown, I'm sure, will say doesn't necessarily want to be in that right back spot, but he plays it well when he's in there. If it's good enough for James Milner at Liverpool to do it at left back, and it's good enough for Alan Brown at North End, and does it with aplomb when asked upon. Barkhazen will chase. Monte gets there first. North End keeping Tranmere inside their own half now. Just a little bit of a nipping at the toes from Blackett-Taylor. Pearson wants options. Josh Earl screaming for it again on this near left-hand side. Ben Davis thinking about the diagonal to the other. Short instead to Earl. Now with a bit of ambition with Harrop. Strong passing forward. Cross to the middle, diving header away. First touch just loose from Harrop, and he knew it. And is that gone out for a corner? No, linesman says it's fine. Got some real venom in that passing from North End there. Tranmere weren't alive to it, but North End, yet again, just not quite on the same frequency as each other, perhaps. Just a bit too early in this pre-season to get things up to full speed. You wouldn't expect that until you get towards the real blood of it, but of course, last season was like no other, and that has meant that in between seasons, everything's changed, and the fitness guys, the physios, conditioning, all had to be rewritten at pretty much every single club around the country, around the world. But they look fit, they look healthy, don't they? And they get another run out this afternoon. Let's get a little bit more memory muscle. And here come Tranmere with McDonald. On loan from the team on the coast. Pushes it forward. And it's an effort that goes straight into the body of Matt Hudson. Season loan for Callum McDonald. Scottish under-21 international. It is a chance. We talked about the goalkeepers, didn't we, for both Matt Hudson and Connor Ripley, just to give Alex Neil something to think about. Harrop. Wide now to Barkhazen. Potts moves on. Overlapping run from Rafferty. Headed away easily in the end from Spearing. But here come North End again. Oh, just too high for Stockley. The right idea, wasn't it? Floated across. Stockley sandwiched in between two Tranmere Rovers defenders. But just a few inches too high for him. And still goalless. We're almost at the half-an-hour mark now. Best chances, I think it's fair to say, came relatively near the start of this game. The man who just misplaced his pass there, Manny Monte, with a header from just outside the 6-yard box directed wide, and Jaden Stockley with a chance from the edge of the 6-yard box at the other end. And just dragged it wide of the far post. It was hard to tell whether he was caught really in two minds, whether he wanted the shot or thought about the cross, and it was neither in there. And that's really been the bigger chances, I think, so far in this match. Against the elements. But a diagonal ball from Gallagher gets things moving again. Oh, not quite picked up by Tom Barkhazen. Scored on his second Preston North End debut, Paul Gallagher, against Tranmere Rovers. On one of his, 487 loan spells that he had at North End. North End's Player of the Decade officially voted. And recently signed a new deal, a brilliant servant for Preston North End. Loves playing at Deepdale for Preston North End, for the fans. And I think all the players and everybody at Preston, and indeed as a Preston North End fan, we cannot wait for the doors to reopen again at Deepdale. Whenever that may be, there will be some celebration when we can all start getting back and watching football again and cheering and singing to our heart's content. Missing Deepdale so much. We will be back there soon, and we thank you for watching and listening this afternoon. There will be an announcement, I'm told, over the next few days or so, I think, about season tickets. Just waiting for some of the finer details, I think, on that. So Keep your eye out on North End's official website and all the usual social media channels that you use, whether that be on Twitter or Facebook or wherever it may be. I follow P&E, and keep your eye out. We're hoping for some news over the next few days for you, and of course that big news that eventually, at some point, we don't know when, but that we can all go back to football matches again. So Hudson with the goal kick for North End. Stockley just drops in to win it in the air. Good header from him as well. No call at all. Ollie Banks has been moaning he's having a pop at Manny Monte actually. And he should have got the call for that, or at least been to it. But North End looking like they're starting to pick up again, asking some more questions. Barkhazen gets a kind bounce. Potts, that's a good cross towards the back post. Harrop nodded it down. Ooh, Paul Gallagher caught it well, but just couldn't quite get over it enough to keep it down. Just fizzed over the top of Joe Murphy's goal. You can see him working it through his head now. It was good work from North End, wasn't it? Good cross, good knockdown, teed it up well for Paul Gallagher. Just zipped over the top of Murphy's goal. Good to see Josh Harrop playing again, isn't it? I know it's been a while since he's come back now, but after that, those terrible injuries that he picked up, worked so hard to get back to full fitness. Just hoping to get back up to full speed and back to the Josh Harrop that we know can do the business. Here's Earl. Harrop is in front of him. Splits the defence. Decent cross. Headed away though on the edge of 6 yards by McDonald. North End get another chance now. Stepping up the pace, putting the pressure on. Gallagher, great ball through from him. Great block as well in the end from Peter Clark. Harrop was all sized up to go for the far corner. Clark read it. But North End continue to turn the thumbscrew, looking for a goal before they get to half-time. Stockley nods it down, or it hits the post. That was a great header from Jayden Stockley. He's no idea how that didn't go in. He rose well, nodded it down almost perfectly, but it hit the upright, and it's still goalless, but he couldn't have been much closer. Harrop, shoulder to shoulder, wins the free kick. Great effort that, wasn't it? Really lovely cross. Hung well in the air. I'll stop at saying Jordan-esque, but he got some good hang time on it, didn't he? Great nod down. And Joe Murphy was beaten. He wasn't getting that. Don't think he got a touch to it at least anyway. Irish international. But let's see what North End can do with this free kick. It's going to be another training ground move. Gallagher and Harrop standing over the ball. I think Harrop is going to hit it. It's direct. Ooh, straight into the wall. Opportunity for now went awry. But North End really are starting to press now. Asking questions of Tranmere Rovers. Oh, that was a slack pass from Ben Pearson. Just momentarily. Oh, they did win it back, North End. That's great work. Potts, he's got Barkhazen outside of him, finds him, goes for the shot, and it's the opening goal of the game. Well, Ben Pearson initially gave the ball away, won it back, set the counter-attacking move up, and a great finish from Tom Barkhazen. And just as we pass the 32nd minute, it's Tranmere Rovers 0, Preston North End 1. Took it well, didn't he? It was a lovely ball through. He kept his calm, kept his composure, and on that one-on-one, gave Joe Murphy little chance really, and smacked it into the corner of the net. Well done, North End. Up and running, and it was coming. Well, just an injury there at the moment, but it was coming, wasn't it, that goal? You could sense it from North End. Tranmere just being forced further and further back. Now, I must admit, I missed what happened there. Just receiving some treatment. I think it's is it Joe Rafferty that's down? Clearly got some problem. Just the way that he was just being treated there, whether it was his knees or his hips. Now then, will they make an early change here, North End? It is Joe Rafferty. Just looks like, just like I say, just the way that he was being moved about there, like he'd just got a bang to the base of his back, I think. Just making sure he's okay. I think he'll play on, do you? Just an opportunity for an unofficial drinks break. Mike Jackson has got all his Tranmere players away to the far side. Not a thing next season, or this coming season, I should say. The drinks break has gone away. It is a pre-season friendly. They are relaxed about things like this. They want to try and help both teams to get up to speed as quickly as possible and help out, but that was all about tactics there from Jacko on the far side. Deep in conversation with Blackett Taylor. Oh no, it's not James Vaughan, I beg your pardon. But we're back underway. I think Joe Rafferty is okay. Just double checking there. He was just having another quick chat there. And North End are back underway as well. So on this near side, leading now by a goal to nil. Tom Barkhazen with the strike. Just a few moments ago. That'll make Alex Neil a little happier as they approach the halfway mark. North End want more. Swung in from Rafferty. Doesn't seem to have too many ill effects from that bang before. Just a little bit over exuberant there from Tom Barkhazen. And it's a free kick to Tranmere Rovers. Played every minute of the last 7 matches in July. Joe Rafferty. Probably his best run in a North End shirt. For the man who was born just across the water in Liverpool. Tranmere now starting to end the first half themselves with a foray into North End's territory. It's been rare recently. North End have kept them contained. Went down quite easily there. Apologies if you heard some choice language there from one of the players on the pitch. And Tranmere's captain waits to get things back underway. I think he'll just leave it instead now for Ollie Banks. Ooh, almost nipped away by Potts. Tranmere get away with that and switch sides. McDonald. Vaughan turned illegally, said the referee. Paul Huntington ended up on the floor. And it's been pretty much controlled by North End, it feels, at the moment. Tranmere not quite dominating the midfield like they were doing for much of the opening period of the game. North End putting the squeeze on them and taking control. Ben Pearson just sitting perhaps a little deeper. Gallagher certainly pulling more of the strings. Potts covering more of the space, and it's starting to work for North End. Vaughan, read by Davis, and won back by Davis. James Vaughan just getting frustrated out there now. I think his body language when he was talking to Mike Jackson earlier on suggested that as well, trying to find some way of getting a bit more cohesion into his Tranmere Rovers side. Well, patient enough there. All the way back quite strongly to Joe Murphy. Clark deals with it. North End putting the squeeze on them again. 2-3 players chasing the ball. Murphy slips as he tries to go downfield. And in the end, just a little bit too close for comfort for the referee's liking. And they will try and move forward again. North End similarly resolute in holding them up. Well, won by Barkhazen, clipped as he did so. You can see every time they get a free kick or a moment, North End don't want to hang around, do they? They want to get things going again, get that momentum back up and get that high press working again as well. Gallagher spots the run. Potts just takes it away. Oh, and Stockley just didn't go with him. It was after you, Claude, for a while there, wasn't it? Potts and Stockley. Potts taking charge and then laying it back for Jayden Stockley, but he hadn't made the run with him. Here's Earl. Tranmere just trying to squeeze the front line of North End. Stockley starts the run. It's followed. The flag stays. Oh, it's up now. Just the wrong side of the defence, Jayden Stockley. They just made that step at just the right time. Certainly seen it North End, hasn't it, with a lovely lofted ball forward. But the back line played it well. Ben Davis read that well. Be interesting to see, won't it, this season, exactly what that back line will look like. Plenty of options in the centre of defence for Alex Neil to think about. We're quite likely to see Jordan and Bauer, the central pairing, as we get halfway through the second half, we think. That was certainly the suggestion. Of course, that can all change. It's the manager's prerogative. Here's Earl. North End just edging forward. Pearson just teasing the Tranmere midfield now. Great ball, pinged through to this near side. Well read out by Lee O'Connor before Josh Earl could do anything more with it. Paul Huntington is confused as we all are. I'm not really sure how that's ended up as a Tranmere Rovers throw-in there. Paul Huntington politely inquiring to the assistant referee on this near side, but Tranmere get the throw and get back underway. Ben Pearson is there again, just snaffling it up, winning back possession. Slid down that right channel now for Stockley to chase. Monte gets there before, brushes him aside. Moves through quite majestically there. Monte, cool as you like from him. Watched Tranmere quite a few times last season when North End weren't playing and I wasn't called upon for work elsewhere. Popped across to Tranmere. See how Nicky Mellon and Mike Jackson were doing. Ultimately ended in disappointment, of course, for them, despite winning that last game before lockdown against the team on the coast. They just lost out to a fraction of a percentage and will start next season in League Two. Mike Jackson hoping to take Tranmere, just lift them again, give them that spark that had taken them to the third tier of English football. Now then, a chance for Tranmere, a half chance for Tranmere. Curled over the top from Corey Blackett-Taylor. But just another warning for Preston North End. Half chance taken. Here's a goal conceded, of course, and when North End get back into championship action in a couple of weeks' time, then it will be action stations and 100% at all times. Not too far away, of course, and you can watch all the action on iFollow P&E. It's Carabao Cup time on Saturday, which I'm sure a lot of you will know is my mother's birthday on the 29th of August, but on this occasion it's the Carabao Cup against Mansfield Town. Kick-off 3 o'clock. You can watch the full match right here where you are. And then the season starts on the 12th of September against Swansea City. Some pre-season matches between now and then, which we will remind you of on the stroke of half-time. North End, was that a handball? Eventually given North End's way. Potts ended up on the floor. Jay Spearing perhaps partly the aggressor. But there's only a matter of moments now before the referee thinks about blowing that half-time whistle. So perhaps one last chance for North End. Harrop wants it. Earl hangs on. Ben Davies keeps it alive through Potts, through Pearson. Now Rafferty. Barkhuizen in front of him. Pearson. Doesn't get too many shots on goal, does he? Earl. Harrop. Won't be much longer. Just that... oh, is that a free kick? No, says the referee. There's the half-time whistle now from the referee. Well, it was an interesting first half, wasn't it? There was plenty of action within it. Not too many chances, though. But the clearest of them all, on the 37th minute, Tom Barkhuizen, the only goal in the first half of this match. So it's North End in the lead at half-time here at Preston Park. And as they go in for some words of encouragement, and probably a couple of dry shirts to be put on as well in the pouring rain and the blustering wind on the Wirral. It's Tranmere Rovers 0, Preston North End 1. I did say I would remind you of the other games that we've got coming up on iFollow P&E as well. So on the 29th of August, it's that Carabao Cup game against Mansfield Town. 4th of September at Sheffield United. That's a 2 o'clock kick-off, I believe, on Friday the 4th. The day after as well, Saturday the 5th, there's a match at Everton. North End go to Goodison Park for the first time in 16 years, that League Cup game all those years ago. And then the 12th of September, the official start of the championship season of the EFL, Preston North End against Swansea City. You can watch that on iFollow P&E. Potentially another game at some point to announce as well. But here at Preston Park, North End in the lead by half-time as the substitutes who we are most likely to see in the second half have a little bit of a warm-up. We'll just have a brief break here and we'll be back for all the second half action. Welcome back, wherever you are listening around the world. I'm told by Hannah, who's here on the gantry with us, that there's a listener. I'm sure there's more than one, but hello if you're listening in New Zealand. Hopefully you're enjoying what you've seen so far of North End's second pre-season friendly. 1 goal to the good against Tranmere Rovers as we are ready to get underway again at half-time. I expect plenty of changes halfway through the second half. None at half-time. And Matt Hudson just getting a stray bag that had fluttered onto the pitch. Looks like most players have got fresh shirts on as well, as Scott Oldham gets us back underway again. Standing or sitting, facing the main stand where the dugouts are. We'll go through the lineups in just a second, because North End straight away go on the attack down the far left-hand side. Cut out by Clark, hooked away in turn by Spearing. Out of play it goes. Yeah, we're in the Johnny King stand, so Preston North End playing towards what is known as the cowshed here at Prenton Park. Defending the Cop end, the Bebbington end. And going back many years ago when North End seemed to get battered here almost every time they came to Tranmere Rovers. That was the end that we were at, the away end. Away on the left-hand side, it was sort of split 50-50. Those Friday night or midweek matches when we came here and generally got beaten. Warren Joyce, I remember at one point getting very angry and launching a tirade at some of the North End fans behind the goal. But not been too bad in recent times, not played them that often here at Tranmere Rovers. Tranmere went non-league for a while before Mickey Mellon helped them get promoted. And now, of course, Mike Jackson, former North Ender, in charge. Here's Rafferty. North End straight away on the attack. Tranmere regain possession. A soft free kick there, James Vaughan under pressure from Paul Huntington. Paul Huntington letting the referee know, not overly happy with that. And as they engage in conversation, play gets back underway again. Forward from Monte. Blackett-Taylor, blocked by Rafferty. And McDonald gets things underway again. Just edging down this near side. McDonald will take the throw. Morris changes sides. O'Connor. Khan. O'Connor once more. North End just sitting deep and containing while they can. Getting a grip on their second half. Stockley tried to flick it on. Sliding block from Jay Spearing. The teams once again just trying to find their rhythm for the start of this second half. Towering header from Huntington. Tranmere regain possession now with Morris. Overlapping run with McDonald, first time cross. And it's Huntington who reads the flight and cuts it out. Just as we wait now for Callum McDonald to act as ball boy. Gallagher cuts off the initial option before giving him a breath to get the ball forward. But here's Pearson. ambitions to move forward. Harrop just clipped, keeps his composure. Finds Stockley, keeps it low, and it's a drilled shot forward from Potts in the end on the half volley. Didn't quite get the power and certainly not the accuracy which it would have needed to have beaten Joe Murphy. But a good run forward from North End. They found space and an early sight on goal. Good counter-attacking press there from North End. Just sort of sucked Tranmere in a little bit really and then hit at them. Stockley just seems to be more on the right-hand side for now in the start of this second half. Barkhuizen in the middle, Harrop across on the left, Stockley on this right, Potts sitting as a number 10 just behind that front three. Stockley facing goal now. Oh, that was a short ball, poor pass that Blackett-Taylor read well. Stockley tries to make amends. So a slight tweak in that front three. Potts with a left-footed effort. It'll be a corner for North End. First of the second half of this game. 5 minutes in. And if you're just rejoining us as well, hello to you wherever you are listening around the world. Across Lancashire, across Preston. And here on the Wirral as well are friends from Tranmere listening in, watching in. Harrop to Gallagher, tried to just hit the reverse pass. Good defensive duty there from James Vaughan. Suggests just exactly how deep Tranmere Rovers are sitting, and it invites Preston North End to come back forward again. Rafferty wants it and gets it on this near side. Just in front of the Johnny King stand. Great diagonal ball from Huntington again. Pin, oh, offside. Flag goes up on this near side. It's a shame that. Great ball from Paul Huntington. Harrop picked it up well, cut inside, but it just made the run just a fraction too early. And just in front of the main stand, you can perhaps see the North End substitutes warming up. They'll be coming on soon. Changes, it's the reverse of the changes from the Salford City game that we are expecting. So Jacko just getting them all, Matt Jackson just getting them all stretched and warmed up. And it will be, we think eventually, the team that started the match against Salford City. And then not too long after that, we're expecting similar changes for Tranmere. Mike Jackson, the now Tranmere manager, just wanting to get some energy in the legs of his players as well. Barkhuizen tries to run onto the ball down this right-hand side. Didn't quite get it. Have to mention, just outside as you come in here, we are in the Johnny King stand. It's probably one of the great statues at football grounds. We know that the splash at North End is obviously the best one. Sir Tom just looking onto the park, but the statue of Johnny King here, a real Tranmere legend, is fantastic. If you ever come to Prenton Park, there's some brilliant murals on the houses just around the area here as well. Friday night football, perhaps memories for some. Memories of us getting beat quite a lot here for me as a younger fan. Slack pass from Tranmere, cut out by Rafferty. And North End will try and alleviate the pressure. Still sitting just on the edge of the area though, so Tranmere asking again. Morris to Blackett-Taylor. Rafferty goes to ground. I think that should be a goal kick. It is, yeah, it did come off Blackett-Taylor last. His eyes were already on the corner, and then when Rafferty went down, he just sort of nudged it against the shins of the winger, and it just trickled out for a goal kick. The wind's starting to pick up again. Chatting at half-time as well about the difference of Ben Pearson last season There was a time, of course, when his mum even stopped coming to watch him because of the disciplinary problems that he was facing. Not always Ben Pearson's fault. It seemed that his cards were marked sometimes before he even been playing, and almost that the Ben Pearson name went above him, and he got more yellow cards in his time at Preston North End than any other player in the Championship. I think there's something like nearly 10 more yellow cards than any other player in that time. But seemed to get on top of that last season. I think he ended the season with 9, and I don't think any at all post-lockdown. He's certainly maturing, and I think Alex Neil has been working on that with him as well. We always knew he was a great player, but I think the fact that North End aren't losing him for 2 or 5 matches because of suspensions certainly helped last season, and ultimately almost there towards the playoffs. Just perhaps ran out of steam post-lockdown, and hoping that this time round they can just get that one step further. Perhaps the playoffs, perhaps with an extra special push, go in the top 2, which would be great. But a long way to go for North End in what will be another season like no other. But we do want to see you back at Deepdale sooner rather than later. Tranmere on the attack, straight into the hands of Hudson. Waiting, of course, on government advice to when fans can officially come back into the stadium. There will be an announcement on season tickets, hopefully at some point this week. And while you're on the official website, North End's home kit on sale, don't forget. The new away shirt will be on sale at the start of September. Rafferty looking for the reverse to Potts. Just short to him. Gallagher keeps North End on the edge of the attacking final third. Yeah, I think he wanted to keep it in, Gally, there, didn't he, as he slid in. Frustrated that he hadn't managed to do so in himself. Rafferty cuts it out. Pearson nips in. North End back in possession. Davis all the way back to Hudson. Cries of Pirro from Rafferty on this near side. Bit of space for Barkhazen now. What can he do with it? Stockley wants it in front of him. Goes back to Harrop. Chip it on his... Oh, float it towards the back post, and everybody had gone in towards the near post. It's such a shame. But just fizzled out again. North End just need to get their heads up a little bit now at the start of this second half. We know that there are tired bodies and tired legs at the start of new season. But they've got just a few more minutes before the changes are being made. Oh, and a slip and a fall. And a bit cheeky there from Peter Clark to stop the throw-in being taken. I think had that been a normal game with fans in, you'd have heard 1 or 2 cries and bemoaning of that. Perhaps a moan and a yellow card, but different in pre-season friendlies and very different given the state of the world at the moment. On the edge of the area, slap shot goes in. Oh, it just fizzed very well wide in the end. Didn't have any of the accuracy of which it would have needed from there. It just felt like the wind perhaps took it away as well from Brad Potts. Cries of Pirro again from both full-backs wanting to push forward. Goes to the left this time though. Josh Earl. McDonald, new to the Tranmere squad. On loan from them. Form not quite on the same wavelength as Kieran Morris. Davies switches again. Spearing committed to that challenge, stop Potts from going down this near channel. Right, the changes will be imminent, so perhaps one last push from North End now. Paul Gallagher going all the way back to Matt Hudson. Alex Neil just giving one or two words of advice to the charges on the touchline. Just having a word now with Maguire. Now then, what can North End find here? Back to Pearson. Harrop. Ooh, tackled himself then, didn't he? Tranmere can break. They've got 3 on 4. More white shirts starting to flow forward as well. And in the end, Blackett-Taylor just got himself in a muddle. Too much to do. Confused himself. And Tranmere will feel an opportunity missed. Apologies if you're picking up the occasional choice word from some of the players on the pitch. As Barkhazen to the edge of the area, Potts keeps it low, and just a sliding chance there, and sliced wide. And that will be the last chance for Josh Harrop, because the change is now about to be made. And as I say, we are expecting all 11 to go off, and the 11 that started now to come on. So that would mean, well, I'll just double check as they're coming on. So away to the left-hand side in front of the Bebington end, the Kop. Connor Ripley just puts his towel into the back of the goal. And then we've got Alan Brown at right back, Patrick Bauer alongside him, Jordan Storey, another start for him. And then Andrew Hughes completes the quartet at the back. Ryan Ledson and Tom Bayliss sitting in front of them. Daniel Johnson in the middle of that 3 of himself, Bowden to his right, and Scott Sinclair away to the left. And it's Shawnee Maguire, the man up front for North End. So 11 changes confirmed for, well, where are we now? We've just passed the hour mark. So a good half an hour for this new 11 to get a run out, and again prove to Alex Neil what they have got the start of the season. There are plenty of players out there that really desperate to make an impression. It is great to see Tom Bayliss out there. 8 sub-appearances, or 5 sub-appearances I think it was last season from him. He knows he's got a lot to do. And Ryan Ledson in that midfield as well, fresh from signing that 3-year deal. Another one of the players out there just born across the other side of the Mersey in Liverpool. So as Andrew Hughes now picks up the ball, North End will try and get up to speed as soon as possible. Fresh legs against a tired Tranmere perhaps, as Alan Brown just plays a 1-2 off the shins of Callum MacDonald. Jordan Storey just needed to dig it out of his feet, but swung it well forward in the end. Andrew Hughes making a foray forward. Here's Sinclair. Maguire had to stretch to keep that alive, didn't he? And as a result, North End temporarily losing possession. Pat Bauer just winning it back. It says Pat Bauer on the team sheet. Casual rather than the Patrick with which we have known him as. Perhaps that's what we should call him now, Pat Bauer. It does sound very much like some sort of an American investigator. I'll refrain from doing the accent. but you know what I'm talking about. Here he is, Pat Bauer, private eye, going forward. Alan Brown, North End, 4 or 5 players in this, and it's Sinclair on the far side if he can find him, but the wind just picking up again and howling across means that A cross-ball pass would have been difficult, but Tranmere can break now. Blackett-Taylor, nobody in support. 3 or 4 Tranmere players desperately streaming forward. Blackett-Taylor tries to buy time before Jordan Storey just slides in and pushes it out for a corner ball. I think this is only Tranmere's, certainly the second one that I've made a mark on. After an early decent start from them, North End have had it almost their own way. But with changes afoot for Tranmere soon, undoubtedly they will want to make a mark. Corner swung well and punched away by Ripley. And Tranmere keep it deep inside North End's defensive side of the field. I am just looking across to Tranmere actually, and there are perhaps 4 or 5 of their substitutes warming up, so maybe Mike Jackson has changed his mind. He wants a little bit more from the team that's out there, but we'll see. Ball goes all the way through, free kick to Preston North End. So just a reminder for the latecomers, 11 changes for North End about 5 or 6 minutes ago. So now the 11 out there are Connor Ripley in goal, as he just takes that free kick down to Alan Brown, who's playing right back again. Did so against Salford. It's a position we saw him occasionally last season in. Patrick Bauer and Jordan Storey, the central defenders. Andrew Hughes at left back. Tom Bayliss and Ryan Ledson in front of them. And it's Daniel Johnson sitting behind Sean Maguire, with Billy Bowden and Scott Sinclair either side on the wings. Here is Shawnee Maguire. Ledson. Bowden. Thought he was thinking about a pop on goal from distance there, but perhaps caught in 2 minds. Gave the ball away, and it's well won back in the end from Billy Bowden. Chased it all the way to the halfway line. Makes the move. Great ball forward from Daniel Johnson, but Monte, he is super cool, isn't he? Manny Monte. Read it. Dealt with it. And pushed it out of play and broke up North End's attack and just alleviated the problems with them as well. I can see at least one Tranmere Rovers player starting to warm up on that far side. Strip off, I should say, on that far side. It was Danny Walker-Rice, who's just getting his kit off over there. So he's going to be coming on soon. Here's Johnson. Alan Brown. Bauer looks up, he wants the run being made. There's not an awful lot. Tranmere have got a high line defensively. And just not quite in the locker there from Pat Bauer to that far side. The idea was there, looking for Andrew Hughes, who's high up the pitch at the moment, making the most of a narrower Tranmere Rovers. Spearing to the far side, brought down by O'Connor. Flag goes up, just the run just a little bit too soon. But I'm just looking there at Tranmere Rovers just on the ball, and that's Paul Lewis, who has been brought on as a substitute. I'm guessing that was made as one at half-time. We've got no announcements on this side of the field, but it's Paul Lewis who has come onto the pitch. We'll try and find out substitutions of Tranmere Rovers. At first glance, that's the only one that I can actually see now. Here's Sinclair. What can he do? Oh, you could see he was trying to open up his body for a shot on goal. Headed away by Morris. And Sean Maguire just on his haunches in the penalty area at the moment. He's back up again now. Hughes stopped. I think it's Ollie Banks who went off for Tranmere Rovers. We're going to have some more substitutions now. We'll try and work them out as and when they happen. Bowden, Brown. Bayliss on the edge of the area. Tranmere, every man bar Vaughan behind the ball now. Sinclair tries to find some space. Maguire goes wide in search of the ball himself. Sinclair fills that middle spot for now as Daniel Johnson turns to get North End forward again. Bowden. Just patient defending from Callum MacDonald. Apologies for anybody who's just picking up the occasional choice word, shall we say, from out onto the playing field. There's normally drowned out, of course, by the supporters that we are all missing. So apologies if you're hearing any of that language. And it will be changes for Tranmere Rovers now. So it looks like Corey Blackett-Taylor is making his way off. So to Kieran Morris. Manny Monte is going off the field. Peter Clark jogging off. So Otis Khan staying on. Looks like Leo Connor's staying on. I think Jay Spearing has gone off as well. And James Vaughan still on. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 maybe changes that are still on for Tranmere. We'll work those out as soon as we can anyway. I think McDonald's still on as well. We'll work those out as we go through them. But here's Alan Brown. And now Johnson. Ledson. Brown. Moving forward himself with the ball. This is good from North End. Triangular passing. Appeals for a free kick. Referee straight away declared no interest. Maguire with the glancing header. Oh, it's intelligent stuff there from Sean Maguire. It was a good ball through. Redirected it because it had come at him when he was having to stretch, wasn't he? His redirect, so he couldn't get the power which it needed, but clever stuff that, and a half chance for North End. Brown looking for the run, Sinclair to the middle, Maguire then switches over the top of him, that's where the ball goes. First touch from Maguire brought it back instead of forward. That gave Sid Nelson the chance to put it into touch, but what a good build-up that from Preston North End. Just see Daniel Johnson and Andrew Hughes just asking the referee about the potential free kick earlier on. But a corner for North End. Ryan Ledson by the centre circle. All the other outfield players in and around the box. But every single Tranmere Rover player inside there gulping it up. So another chance for North End to whip the cross in at that near post, and a desperate diving header to get it out of play. Another corner for North End, so the pressure starting again. Sid Nelson again with the header into touch. Billy Bowden with the corner. Too many white shirts around there. A clash of heads, I think, there as well. The referee's going to have to stop play here. Patrick Bauer has gone down, clutching the front of his face when both went up. I think Patrick Bauer got one on the nose. I think he sort of headed the back of the head of the Tranmere Rovers defender. He's okay, just trying to walk it off a little bit, but concern for Patrick Bauer. He's okay. He's made of stern stuff, that German. Just to confirm those changes, by the way, for Tranmere: Monte, Clark, Blackett, Taylor, Morris and Vaughan went off. Ellis, Nelson, Payne, Rideholsh and Walker Rice, the players that came onto the pitch. And there is Liam Rideholsh now, one of the players that came on in place of him. Jay Spearing still on the field, incidentally. He must have just gone off to get some water, went off. His full kit is absolutely stuck to him, absolutely drenched to the skin. Bowden, oh, just crashes into Ryan Ledson, gives Tranmere the possession. He's okay, Bowden, he will get back up again. Tranmere trying to make the most of this opportunity. Spearing, oh, he just gets underneath it and wallops it straight out of play. Here's Alan Brown, Bayliss. Just bounced awkwardly for Andrew Hughes, did well to deal with it. Joe Murphy in the end has to clear it. Emergency away to the halfway line, where it's just always overstretching there for Tranmere. Kept hold of it though. Mark Ellis in the centre of defence now. Sid Nelson going long down the right hand side, looking for Stefan Payne. Otis Khan wants it, knocked out of play again. I was told before the game by Tranmere, Otis Khan, the Tranmere Rovers midfielder, actually got through to the finals of Ninja Warrior apparently a few years ago. Did really well in it, didn't win it, but won one of the qualifyings apparently, if that's something that you would watch. Here's Spearing. Certainly shows his strength and agility. Not been too bad today, Kant. It's a teasing ball. Not quite managing to connect on the end of that, Tranmere. Dangerous though, wasn't it? Zipped off the top surface before popping onto that far side and Northend managing to clear it downfield. They've just had those moments occasionally through this game, Tranmere Rovers. Lee O'Connor just couldn't quite get onto the end of that one, but there's not really been many really good clear chances other than that one that we mentioned, I mean, really long ago for Monte with that header. Johnson, Sinclair looking to create chances of their own now, keeps it on the floor. Northend getting out from underneath their feet and just the wrong side of the post. Alan Brown it was, just nipping in and getting a touch. Good work from Sinclair. Kept it on the ground. It is a zippy, wet, awkward surface, you would imagine. And Northend with just that final touch. Murphy might say he had it covered, but a good effort this time from Alan Brown. Good strong header. Bit too strong from Ryan Ledson. But certainly trying to stamp his mark of authority on that midfield. Tranmere pick up the loose ball this time though. Goes to the far side for O'Connor. Blocked by Hughes. Good 50-50 challenge between the pair of them. O'Connor just bounced off Andrew Hughes, but he will win the throw-in. Tranmere leaving two defenders back just to pick up Shawnee Maguire. Clearly worried about the pace, you would have thought, as much as anything that Maguire offers. Two men perhaps can constrain him better than one getting caught short. I think Sean Maguire himself knows this season he'll want to just lift that final element of his game. More goals from him would be the order of the day this season. I think the forward players full stop would like to get more goals this season in the Championship. Just a slight drop off from the previous season from Northend as Scott Sinclair just tries to go forward. Not many options in the box, plenty of white shirts back. Sitting deep now, Tranmere, inviting Northend to come forward. Here's Hughes. Great 1-2, Maguire cuts back, twists and turns, looking for an option. The shot was weak in the end, shame that. Andrew Hughes had given him the opportunity, couldn't quite manage to get it through. I say last season, 59 goals in the Championship Preston Northend scored compared to 67 the previous season. Defensively though, a lot meaner as well. Only 54 conceded compared to 67 again the previous season. So certainly getting tighter, defensively getting a lot stronger, but they know themselves that just needed a few more goals last season. They weren't a million miles away, but just couldn't quite get over the finishing line towards the playoff. Lockdown changed something, didn't it, for Northend? The Deepdale faithful maybe, and the gentry that go all across the country, perhaps not quite. That was the spark they needed. Here's Alan Brown, low cross. Cut out by McDonald. Bauer will start things again for North End. Ledson. Tranmere really deep. Oh, just a little bit. A nip to the ankles of Jay Spearing. Don't forget, on Saturday, North End in Carabao Cup action. You can watch the full match on iFollow P&E. Kickoff 3 o'clock. A chance to see that new Preston North End home shirt as well, on sale. The away shirt which we are seeing this afternoon goes on sale at the start of September. Storm Francis re-emerging again with the rain battering down, the wind picking up. And of course, with both teams making so many changes, that has just affected the rhythm in the second half of this game. But North End still the team who certainly having a lot more of the possession, a lot more inside Tranmere's defensive half as well. Oh, and here's a chance though, a mistake, and it's a one-on-one, and it's a good save from Connor Ripley. A mistake there from Preston North End, and it was Stephen Payne who had gone through to a one-on-one. And as Ripley went down, he stopped it with the corner of his left boot, and it fizzled out for a corner. Good opportunity for Tranmere, and you've got to say that's a good save from Connor Ripley. Corner for Rovers on the right-hand side, swung into the near post. Good strong header away from Andrew Hughes. Tranmere try and come back down this left-hand side now. Looking to switch it with Mark Ellis. And it's Tranmere now who are just trying to ask some questions after sitting so deep, and you have to say soaking up a lot of Preston North End pressure. Perhaps now they'll do a bit of their own. It's a cheeky flick from Stephen Payne that didn't quite come off. McDonald will take this throw. That was soft. Free kick, Tom Bayliss disappointed. McDonald went down like a sack of spuds. So North End, pretty much everyone in and around their defensive penalty area. Let's see if Tranmere have got anything to offer with this free kick. It'll be taken by Danny Walker-Rice. Quite a lot of players around the penalty spot. And Daniel Johnson can now break with Maguire. Scott Sinclair outside him. Just tries to gain his balance there. Almost went over Scott Sinclair. Had to regain his composure. Johnson misses it on the half volley. Maguire can't get it out. Tranmere can't get it out of the penalty area. Nobody can get that final touch. How so frustrating for Preston North End. The break was on. It just perhaps happened, and a mistake. And Tranmere Rovers will score. Connor Ripley raced out of his goal. He looks accusingly at Patrick Bauer and Billy Bowden. And Ripley raced out of his goal. But Tranmere were there first and they equalise. And as we go into the last couple of minutes of this match, it's all square again at Prenton Park. What a shame, after so long, North End dominating. But it's, well, we mentioned it before, didn't he? Just that moment, here's Bayliss. Oh, a pull of his shirt from Jay Spearing. Knew exactly what he was doing there. Taken quickly, Daniel Johnson. Hughes. Johnson looking for some space. Wanted to put in the shot. Maybe Andrew Hughes can. It took a deflection. It's gone out for another corner. How quickly things can change from that break from Preston North End going down one end and just not managing to convert that chance, and then a lack of concentration. Tranmere Rovers go down the other side of the park, and before you know it, it's all square. Stephen Payne, the man with the goal. North End trying the acrobatics from Andrew Hughes. The referee already starting to look at his watch. There's literally about 15 seconds or so to go in. Well, it's gone quite quickly, hasn't it, this second half? It's been engrossing to watch, plenty of changes. I'm wondering whether we might add a minute or so because of those changes. But that's football, isn't it? Tranmere Rovers did what they have to do. You would imagine that they will be happy with a draw here this afternoon. In fact, there's the full-time whistle, and that's what has happened. A lack of concentration from North End right at the end allowed Tranmere Rovers to go in. And Stephen Payne with the equalising goal, and that was after Tom Barkhuizen's strike just after the half-an-hour mark for Preston North End. Both teams, of course, have got plenty more minutes now in their legs, but North End will be disappointed to have not won this match this afternoon. And all eyes now will focus on Deepdale. On the weekend, it's the Carabao Cup, it's Mansfield Town at Deepdale. You can watch the full match on iFollow P&E as North End look for a route through the competition. But here, in the second pre-season friendly of the season, it ended probably in disappointment for North End after dominating the majority of this game. Tom Barkhuizen's strike on 33 minutes cancelled out right at the end by Stephen Payne. It's finished. Tranmere Rovers 1, Preston North End 1. Thank you so much for your company this afternoon. Wherever you are, take care, stay safe, and we'll talk to you again on Saturday.